And we're live. Welcome to episode 60 of DCP SideQuest, now with ray tracing. Can you see it? It looks gorgeous.
Wow.
I can see the reflections in my head.
Right?
That's what I've always wanted.
That lighting is so real.
I'm actually not here, but I'm here.
You're here through ray tracing. We have TheMavShow on the show.
Yeah.
On SideQuest. Very exciting.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
for
having
coming.
me. Oh my God, thanks for having me.
I wanted to kick you off though when you told me you got an analog pocket. You got 2 analog pockets. I am very
We
got
might
two?
have got.
It
We
makes me
might have
feel
got 3. I'm not sure.
3?
What?
Yeah, I mean, listen. We've been practicing because we are now diet wannabe sneakerheads, so we were learning how to deal with drops. So when the pocket dropped, we were prepared.
Oh, okay.
You were prepared.
Yep.
They've had drops before,
Right.
but usually they go for like a few days, so I wasn't that worried about it. I
No.
thought I was outside doing a little lawn
Gotta go
work.
back.
I figured I'd come in a half hour, get it done. It was done
No.
in 4 minutes.
Tomo kept saying, "Tell
Some people
Brian
ordered
we'll get it
3.
for him."
It actually glitched. It was stuck on shipping. Like you had to pick what you wanted to use for shipping, and it was just spinning for everybody within
Mine
the
did the
first
same,
minute.
yeah.
Yeah, and the
Hmm.
shipping was like, oh, we're calculating your shipping, and we're just like, oh shoot, no, please wait. But it was good. I was like, do we refresh it? Mr. Matt was like, no, don't refresh it.
I risked it because I was like, what happens if I do this and I lose it? So I was like, I just press back and then press forward again, and luckily it worked. So could have gone bad.
That was the most dramatic of this whole last week. The drama, the intense, my gamer sweat.
Oh dear.
So you ordered 3 of them, and you know
Possibly.
the PlayStation 5 is
Who's to
coming
say?
out, and the Xbox 4 is coming out. Are
It's
you
gonna be
gonna?
a cold. It's gonna be a cold winter for my wallet. It's gonna be.
Right.
I'm just praying
Christmas
that
is canceled.
Christmas is canceled. Christmas is happening a month early.
We got the COVID. We can't have Christmas.
There you go.
Santa got the
True.
COVID.
Yeah. My fingers crossed that my friends over at Xbox love me enough to donate to me.
I gotta make a better set of friends.
But I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
Hey, don't worry, they're gonna have spare Xboxes now because they got no games for it, so they're gonna have to give the consoles away.
Oh,
I'm joking.
please take this console. We don't have games though, but here it's basically year 1 Switch.
Did you
Yeah,
guys talk
yeah,
last
yeah.
week about Halo getting delayed?
No, 'cause I
are
think
we
that was-
surprised?
Maybe a little bit. I think we mentioned
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Was it delayed by last week? It probably was. Yeah, maybe we did. I can't remember. I
I
feel like
remember
we talk about it
talking
again.
about a lot of Fall Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of Fall Guys over the last week. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
basically
Yep.
all I play at night now. I'm just being honest right now. Like, what have you been doing on your time off? Playing really intense games of Fall Guys.
Chasing that crown.
be
Mr.
done.
Mav
I've still
actually
only got one
won a
crown.
crown, so that's where we're at.
Ooh.
Really? Does he lord that
Yeah.
over you
Nice.
on the daily basis?
Well, they just tweeted yesterday about, I'm such a dweeb. Here we go. They tweeted about if you've won a game or whatnot, put a crown in your name.
Mhm.
I'm
Oh, I
just
need
ready
to
to
do
do
that.
it. I need to put a crown in my name. But
If I had that
I might have
situation
to-
going on in this house, I'd be like, only people who have won a crown get to have maple syrup on their pancakes.
That would
People
be
who have won a
amazing.
crown do not need to put the toilet seat back down.
oh my God, I'm so triggered.
That action is for the crownless.
No pants this week
Yeah.
for the crowns.
Everyone should employ this. All the companies, you don't have to bring your pants to the meeting if you've won a crown.
That should be like I think when lockdown's over and people start applying for jobs, like their CV's gonna be like, I want a crown in Fall Guys. I'm like, cool, yeah. I don't care about your other qualifications. Like you're hired. You got a job. Like I was applying to be a surgeon, but it's fine. You got a crown in Fall Guys. Don't need 12 years of experience. It'll be all right.
My qualifications will be I now know how to hook up retro consoles through HDMI via SCART cables. I don't think anybody's
Oh
hiring
my
for
gosh.
that.
That's a pretty big
That's a-
feat, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got a box of SCART cables. It took like a month to get here, but oh my god, I've got so many SCART cables now. It feels
Do
good.
they have ray tracing?
Oh, all the tracing.
You need to do one of those posts, one of those like awesome posts where you lay them on the floor, then you lie on top of it, and then you just like do snow angels in your SCART cable.
And then you could shoot it as a video, but it's only a minute long, and then someone will come out with the 1 hour Briar SCART table angel
Yes.
Or they'll do it in slow mode, so it looks like I'm drunk.
Oh, okay.
I hooked up my. I think I told this story on the podcast before, but I got a Sega Saturn. I paid $100 for it, but when I got it home, it was broken. The disc drive didn't spin. It looked like Coke had been spilled in it, and years of neglect meant it didn't work anymore.
It looked like it had the 90s on it.
Yeah. So I called the guy, and he just refunded the money, and I had paid him through like an app. I can't remember which app, but he just refunded the money, and I never. We never thought about it. I just kept the broken Saturn, but I ordered an ODE. It's called a mode, which is an optical disc emulator, which you put in place of the disc drive, and then you can put on this one. You can actually put a SSD into it.
Oh
and
my god!
Store all the games for a system on this thing. So I hooked that up. I took a chance and just plugged it in to see if it would work. And it worked. So now I have a fully operational Sega Saturn with, every Sega Saturn game ever made, which is kind of neat. And one of those was Pocket Fighter, which I had never played before. I'd never even heard of it before. And oh my god, this game, it's it's a cross between Street Fighters and Darksiders, Vampire Savior, Darksider. Have you guys heard of Darksiders? Dark what?
Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the one. Yeah.
It's a fighting game, but all the characters are like these little chibi, like cute characters.
So good.
With a dash of Watts.
Yeah. Oh my god. A huge helping of Watts. And it's only 3 buttons. You got to punch, you got to kick, and you got a special attack. And the special attack is weird. You'll pull a signpost and whack somebody over the head with the signpost, or you do all sorts of things. And often you change outfits during your attacks. So one character who is generally dressed as a kitten, a mean kitten, will also turn into a Mega Man kitten, which is it doesn't make any sense to me, but it's fun to watch.
Yeah, that's the game.
It has become my obsession. I have every Sega Saturn game and Dreamcast game because the mode will work in the Dreamcast as well, and I can't just stop playing Pocket Fighters, which is also called Gem Fighters, I think, in the U.S. because this was a Japanese release.
And when you tweeted about it, Briar, lots of people responded being like, that game's actually really good.
It's really good. It's super fun. It doesn't play exactly like Street Fighter, but it's like Street Fighter adjacent. So you know how to play it kind of. And since there's only 3 buttons, it's not super difficult to pick up, but there is some mastery involved. Definitely. I cannot beat how when you play a fighting game, you start with the first guy, second guy, third guy. I can't beat the third guy. I can't.
Okay.
Usually when I play
games were harder back in the day.
They were.
Yeah.
They used to just cheat. They were like, how do we make the game harder? Just make the characters cheat.
Yeah. Make them
just teleport them.
Yeah.
Just make them giant cheaters. Make them able to do completely impossible things that you can't do.
Yeah,
because there's a game
is stupendous. There's there's different levels and everything that you fight on. One of them is a snow level, and you see M. Bison in the background sledding and stuff. It's just one of those things where it's just completely ridiculous and completely fun, but the gameplay is actually really cool.
Yeah, it's there's a game that came out. Was it last year or the year before on Switch called Pocket Rumble, which is very similar kind of thing. Obviously, it's not the Capcom characters, but it was a really good fighting game for if you were trying to learn fighting games, because it had in the training mode. It also had the thing kind of that would teach you about framing. And I'm not an expert on this stuff, but teach you about frame advantage and stuff. So when you're attacking characters, and it's a 3-button one, so it teaches you very basic inputs and kind of teach you how to gauge your distance and stuff. But then there was the tutorial mode was broken down really, really well. So yeah, when you attack, you'll know if things are safe on block, if things are, if things will kind of be punishable and whatnot. So I think it was basically designed as a new version of Pocket Fighter, I believe.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's quite cool. I mean, the characters obviously don't look as cool. It doesn't quite have the same charm, but it's still got that pixely kind of retro look to it. It's definitely fun to play. I think it's pretty cheap on Switch actually.
Oh, Switch is great. What a great console. It's become like my
Honest-
favorite
yeah.
console.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly it's so great. Like, even like the first year that it came out, I was like, it was the first year, and I thought it seems weird to say it, but already it's like my favorite console ever.
Yeah,
Wow.
when it first came out, there was nothing for it except Breath of the Wild, and I was like, "This is going to be my favorite console." And so far, it is the only one I've used all month.
Before it came out, I
it's
thought,
like-
what are they thinking? Like, how? Who?
Most people did.
Who makes a cartridge-based console anymore? Who's gonna like
It's
bring it to
fantastic.
picnics and like put it on a picnic table and play with that tiny ass controller? Like, the advertising had me confused. I couldn't imagine like how this thing was gonna sell, and I'm with you now. It's like it's become absolutely my favorite console.
Yeah, it's so good.
Like literally, a new game gets announced. I'm like, so is there a Switch version? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't care about the graphics. I want it on Switch so I can take it with me. That's all I care about. Like,
Yes.
Switch is just like, that's it. That's me.
I want more special edition Switches to come out.
Yeah.
Well, I want the second one to come out. I want the upgrade hardware.
Oh, like the
Hello,
Pro?
Nintendo.
True. This is true. But
I've
maybe
been
I want them to
teasing
keep the
about
same
this.
size. Like, the upgrade
Yeah.
one would be great, but just, like, don't change the size because I bought so many Joy-Cons. I should probably sell my Joy-Cons to like get a mortgage or something because every single one,
expensive.
every color permutation I have.
Oh my!
And I was like, if they change the form factor, I'm just no, please don't.
We did.
That's
yeah,
an investment.
sure-
Those are $80 a piece, right? Or $80 for
They're
a pair.
pretty
Yep.
expensive, yeah.
Yeah.
We made sure that when we were
Yeah.
in Japan, we went to Japan like right when the Switch was coming out. So we bought
Mm.
the colors that you could only get in Japan. which
Yeah.
was
Jelly.
very nice. I think one of those was the pink and green one, actually.
Yeah, you got it over the West. Like, now I had to import that one, and then I had to import the Mario Odyssey special red ones. Like, I got the other red ones, but there was like a different shade of red. The only one I don't actually have is
Oh,
the.
yeah, you gotta get both shades of red.
It's gotta be done. I mean, if it's red, like, I've got a. You know they got me again. They released the Split Pad Pro that you like, the Hori one.
Yes.
They released it in red. Now I
Oh,
have to buy it
shit.
They
again.
did. I saw that. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have that Demon X Machina branding anymore.
No. There's a blue version as well, but nobody needs blue.
Oh,
it's
I like blue.
whatever. Well then there you go.
Dude, this is the problem with collecting stuff. Is like once you start collecting stuff, like you feel compelled to like complete the collection, and there's always gonna
There's
be
never
like those
completing.
like holy grails or like white whales out there that, like, I feel bad for amiibo collectors because those poor bastards, they keep releasing those things, but they do like those limited runs like the sneakers do, right? So like you gotta be
get the
on
drop.
Yeah, you gotta be Johnny on the spot all the time with those things.
It's like,
I had to
come
put, like,
on, me.
I'm surprised I didn't do. I never went on the amiibo thing just because I didn't. If I did, I'd be right up there with them. Be trouble.
I had to put
Yeah.
like a limit on mine, like because I collected them for like all of them for a while, but then because when they first came out, it was just the Smash Brothers ones, right? So I was like, okay, cool, this is safe. Then they were like, oh, it's Smash Brothers
I'm
and a
safe.
few Mario ones. And I was like, all right, I'll buy that. And then when it was like, oh, we're gonna release Animal Crossing, I was like, no, I see what you're doing, Nintendo. No,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll buy Smash Brothers ones and Zelda ones. That's it.
Yeah.
That's my hard limit.
They're sneaky smart. Like their merchandising group has branched out so much. It used to just be the
Yeah.
consoles and games. Now it's just everywhere. Like even if you walk down a Target, like it's in the baby section, it's in the video game section, it's in the kids section, it's in the clothing section. Like they are sneaky, just putting it everywhere.
I'm wearing
jealous.
Super Mario Brothers adult diapers right now, and they're nice. They're nice.
I'm not surprised. Like that's where we're at with Nintendo.
You know, if they ever do a crossover with Crocs, Briar,
Oh,
I'm
I'm
in.
all
That's
over
for
that.
Christmas.
I would
I'm
actually
in.
buy that. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, even Levi's, even like brand name
Yeah.
companies and like fashion, like they have like a whole collection. That's Nintendo
You know,
Mario crossover. Legos is like the newest thing.
That's true. Yeah. Tomo
Oh,
bought
did
that.
you
We
see the
have that.
We did
TV?
too.
The NES
Yeah.
and TV that they made?
Yeah, that's what we
Yeah.
have.
Oh, you got it?
They just came out with a new drop of it yesterday, and we got lucky. So here we are.
Oh, they're limited in release.
Yeah, they're limit. I think they're limited.
Is everything limited in release now? Can I just like go to a store and buy anything, or are they
I don't
shelves
think so.
empty?
I think I think it's all.
I-
limited.
I know.
I
I'm
l-
waiting on
yeah.
toilet paper to drop. I'm waiting on.
You got to set up your bots to snag the toilet paper.
Yeah. Oh my God, we ordered toilet paper at like the beginning when the big toilet paper scare started. and we finally got it last week. Like after 3
Wait,
months of waiting
what?
for this toilet paper to show up, right? And we got it. It was, I don't know, about like this big, and there was like 6 rolls of toilet paper on each
He
roll.
got like the RV pack, the like biodegradable toilet paper.
I had to do
Wow.
that with paper towels, and I was like, this doesn't soak up anything.
Yeah.
The one that I got, I was like, no wonder this is the only one that's left. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, and the toilet paper said, "This is what love is" on it too, which I really appreciated.
Oh my
A clean
goodness.
butt is what love is.
It's true.
Well, it's true.
That's real love.
Actually,
have
when we were in
anything-
Japan, Mario, it was Mario had a crossover with a makeup company.
Really?
So that's just Japan in general. Like Japan has crossovers with everything all the time.
Yeah.
So if it's a Japanese company, you'll tend to get them more on clothes and makeup and all sorts of stuff.
Well, I love when
The f-
video game companies do it. When like you get like
Mm.
your crossovers. Like the one I'm thinking of right now is the SNK Street Fighter crossover from like, I guess that was the late '90s. But when you get like different characters like all combined, so Super Smash Brothers does this all the time, right? So you get
Yeah.
different characters in your games, and that's always fun. Indie games do it a lot, where you'll see Shovel Knight in like every game that's been an indie game for the last
Yeah.
10 years.
Speaking, that's a good segue because Fall Guys is doing something really cool that they tweeted about. They put out a tweet saying to all of the companies, so any company can interact with the tweet, and you're basically bidding an amount to donate to a charity, and whoever donates the most biggest amount of money will get a crossover in their game.
That's brilliant.
That's
Aw.
awesome.
Isn't it awesome? I saw it and I was like, that is such a good way to do it, where
Yeah.
people are just outbidding different companies to try and, win a
can
spot in
donate
the
the
game.
most.
But donate. It's all going to charity, which is such a good way to do it.
That's actually awesome.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah, that's
good.
pretty cool. And
I mean, the Fall Guys social guys like on fire. By the way,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
we can just come and work on my Twitter, that would be.
he had a rough go of it at the beginning, but man, he powered through, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
The roasting has been great. He's been
It has
roasting
been
some
great.
mega streamers, and it's been a lot of great hot takes. They're
Yeah,
basically they're like after Tim the Tatman. They're like, I wonder if you'll ever actually be good enough to play our game.
Oh dear.
Do you want to go against our dev accounts that no one's using? Maybe you'll win a game. Like, oh my god,
That is incredible.
just brutal.
I've just seen the Sidemen have taken the top bid right now. They've got it at $40,000.
Really?
who?
They just
Wow.
overtook whoever the who was beforehand. It was not sure. Some
No idea.
I just want
Never
to play
heard
a
of them
little
before.
Thrall character in Fall Guys. I just want little Destiny characters.
I
That
want
would be amazing.
A
Nintendo
little
to come
hive.
in with a fat like $1 billion check and then put Wario in the Fall
Yes.
Guys.
And
I would like-
DCP
I would-
donate some money so we could be in Fall Guys.
I don't think we're gonna get
I've
there.
been- I've been tweeting them,
Fundraise.
right? I tweet
$4 and a
before.
Mister is gonna make it happen.
You never know. You throw the Scott cable, they might be all right. You know.
Mm. I'll teach you how to use all your retro gaming stuff with HDMI.
True.
HDMI, the new ray
I
tracing.
keep tweeting them asking them to put a beard in, and like before the game launched, before they got huge, he replied to me. He was like, "If I haven't put a beard in, then I've made a huge mistake." And then obviously he's got too big now. He doesn't
No
talk to me
beards.
anymore because he's a big man now. So I don't really get. He's forgotten
He's
the
too
small guys.
popular.
Yeah, he's too popular.
He's forgotten the guys who got him there.
I know, right? Yeah, I gave him his first retweet, but he's forgot who I am.
Did you guys hear this rumor that the Xbox 4 is going to be $600, $599.99?
I
The
saw the
meme is
rumor.
real.
I don't know where it comes from though.
They say
is it?
some online retailer like put it up, but that could be placeholder a lot of times. They're just taking a guess at what
Yeah.
they
I
think it's going to
mean-
cost.
It seems right, just because the current console's around for something, right? Like, but that's still a lot.
That's a ton of
That's a lot
money,
of money.
especially during a pandemic.
Yeah,
Although
that was
apparently, like, gaming stuff is selling out like hotcakes during the pandemic
Yeah,
because
it
everybody's at
is.
home, and if you got money, like, they're spending on video game stuff. The retro stuff is all getting like super expensive because everybody's like putting all that stuff together. But so apparently, it's the best time to sell a console.
true.
True.
I just like, it's like I sort of said before. Like, I almost, it's a crazy price, but I almost want to see it just for the meme status because you remember back in, I think it was 2007, Sony's like press conference at E3 when they got mocked for the PS3, and it was like
Yeah.
Kazurai on stage, like $599 and then like they did the whole like meme thing out of like the whole conference. But it was, people back then were like, how much for a console? And obviously they didn't change the price and whatnot. But like to actually have it go full circle, and because it's weird because obviously they aren't going to be cheap, and there's probably been consoles are always sold at a loss anyway. But like the fact that I imagine trying to manufacture during these current times when everything's been like slowed down and whatnot is probably hiked up the price. So pair that with obviously the new tech and stuff. So it's it's gonna be really weird. I mean, like obviously when consoles launch, the initial pickup is always just like the core of the core who are just like, I just want to buy it day one regardless. But for a lot of people that were kind of, because I feel like there's almost like your three camps of people that buy your consoles. You have like the ultimate core who are like, I'm buying it day one no matter what. Like I'll still buy an
Waiting in
Xbox day
line
one.
for 24 hours.
Yeah, then you've kind of got your just below that where there's still like the kind of core gamers, but they'll be like, well, I need like a reason to buy on day one. Like they'll be like, I'll be there day one if there's a game for me. And then you've kind of got the other one who are like, I'm gonna wait, a year later or something like that. And I just feel like for anyone that's not just the tech people that just want to buy it for the sake of buying a console, it's gonna be a hard sell. Like dropping. I mean, we kind of said before, like obviously Xbox has got. They have lost Halo on launch, but they have got huge value proposition through Game Pass. So there's definitely still, like, if you're looking for a next generation system, there's definitely still plenty of value there. But obviously, if really, because what we're really looking at now for the launch consoles is that they're basically going to be like, which one do you want to play your third party games on? Because that's kind of what we're looking at. Like, none of the first party games from Microsoft are really going to be there, apart from like Tetris Effect and stuff. And like, this, I'm not going to buy a $500 console, $600 console to play Tetris.
Yeah.
And it's like, and whereas obviously, and the compelling package probably more so is like PlayStation because they're going to have a few personal like exclusives and whatnot, and then they're going to be like, well, also you can play Valhalla and Watch Dogs, and it's going to be it's tough.
The Game Pass thing it's a plus and a minus because most of the games that are coming to Game Pass on the Xbox 4 are also going to be available on the One, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if you already have an Xbox One, especially like a One X, or if you have a PC and they're trying to charge you $600 for the next Xbox, like, boy, that's an easy like. Let's see what happens when there's a price drop.
Yeah, definitely.
Which will happen just because it's coming out in November. So Christmas, there's going to be something. So
Yeah, and there's the Xbox Series XS that keeps getting rumored, right? Which is like a less powerful version of the Xbox 4 that'll be less expensive as well. But they haven't said anything about it yet.
No. Even though they've got a controller out there in the wild that literally lists it on the packaging, like it clearly exists, but it's just yeah.
It's just a weird time. Just a weird year to have a console come out.
It's just a weird year.
Just a weird year in general. So just to have something like this coming out, but maybe it's good to help distract people. I'm not sure. It's gonna be a weird winter.
Yeah.
For gaming. There's really not a ton of games that are super coming out this year. A lot of things got pushed back. I don't even know what's gonna happen with Cyberpunk. I'm very excited for it.
On it getting delayed. Go
Fingers
delay.
crossed. Fingers crossed that they just do like what they can do with the game at this point because they've delayed it how many times, and that's expensive to delay the game. So figuring that out, it's been hard to watch. Just as a gamer, it just makes me sad.
Yeah, but you're right though. It's interesting because I remember earlier in the year we were having that kind of conversation where like, oh, the end of the year is gonna be like crazy. Like, how are we gonna juggle all these games? And suddenly like everything getting pushed out. Which like, so wait, what games are actually coming out now?
Destiny.
So November's looking. Right. I mean, you said Destiny. Obviously, true. We do still have the potential of like Valhalla, and then 2 days later Cyberpunk, assuming they both come out. That's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
That feels like one of them's got to get pushed, right? 2 days. You give me a week and a half, maybe I can do some stuff with that. For 2 days?
Ubisoft must have been angry because they didn't they move Valhalla, or maybe they just didn't announce it. But then obviously, imagine like Cyberpunk getting moved into your launch window. Like, I mean, Assassin's Creed is no small franchise, but Assassin's Creed has obviously been around for a while. Like, it's not, there's excitement for Valhalla, but then also in like something like Tsushima coming out this year, people are looking at Assassin's Creed like looking a little bit dated kind of thing. And then suddenly like, well, Cyberpunk, I mean, everyone's talking about this right now. It's dropping like 2 days away, and a lot of people, we're fortunate, if we kind of get like review codes and stuff, we can afford to like jump and juggle both games. But a lot of people will be like, I need to think about the one purchase. Like,
well, both of those
both
games are going to
giant
take a ton of your time too, right? So
Mm.
even if you got the money, even if money isn't the concern, just the time of playing the game.
Yeah. True.
All right.
Ghost of Tsushima news?
There's an expansion
Yeah.
coming, right? A multiplayer expansion, right?
Yeah. There is
I did not
indeed.
see that coming.
I didn't think
No.
it coming either. Like, not in the slightest.
Is this going to be co-op only, or can we fight?
They've said that it's co-op. Like it's been built as specifically a multiplayer co-op expansion. It will be completely free. It's obviously got like 2 to 4 players for co-op. So, but they've designed it like you can go in with matchmaking, but the way they've phrased it is like it sounds like they've designed it with co-op in mind. So I don't know whether there is the option to go in solo. They haven't specifically said that, but they have said like it's been built as a co-op thing.
Yeah. It says,
I want to chop Watts.
I think you have to chop with me, Brian.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Because it says,
interesting.
you'll be able to partner up with friends or via online matchmaking and play it in groups of 2 to 4. Each player can choose from one of 4 different character classes: the samurai, hunter, ronin, or assassin. Each class has unique advantages and abilities that will reveal in the future. So it looks like with 2 players is one mode that you can do, and then with 4 players is another one you can do. So with 2, you'll be able to play a series of co-op story missions that escalate in difficulty, building on the foundation of combat from the single player campaign, but with new magical twists that often require careful synchronization with your partner. So that sounds interesting.
Yeah.
And then with 4 players, you'll be able to take on wave-based survival missions, fighting groups of the toughest enemies that Tsushima has to offer, including new Oni enemies with supernatural abilities. So this is, we were all playing the game and we were like, man, those tales where you do mythical stuff are so cool. I want to see them do more with that. Well, they are. They're adding demons and legends and all sorts of stuff.
It's cool that they're doing it that way, because there was that one time when I was playing through the game, I was wondering whether they would have pulled like an Assassin's Creed where like once you complete the game, like the world could have been filled with all these like Onis, and then you'd be like, oh, now I can do that kind of like the things that aren't realistic. And obviously they didn't do that, but now we can see that you go into this new realm and you get to do that.
Yeah, it's cool. And then they also said something that I never saw coming from this kind of game.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a 4-player raid that is arriving shortly after the launch of Ghost of Tsushima Legends, which is what it's called. And it said this sends you and your partners to an entirely new realm to challenge a brutal, terrifying enemy. They're
So
putting
basically,
a raid.
Do you think it's going to be a raid, or do you think it's going to be like a glorified strike dungeon-esque kind of situation where you go in and fight some monsters, but it's not like a natural raid?
Yeah, it
I
sounds
think
like
probably
you're just
that.
facing one, because it says
It's
a new realm
people,
to
right?
challenge a brutal, terrifying enemy, which makes me, well, I don't know. I guess that could be multiple
Although,
encounters.
to your point, like I feel like maybe I definitely do feel like it'll be more kind of like strikey dungeony, because obviously the kind of nature of the game, it probably lends itself more to that. But having said that, when we think about things like shrines and stuff, it would be cool if they kind of like incorporated platformy aspects to it. So you kind of have maybe like a Destiny Light raid experience where like you run in, you fight loads of enemies, and suddenly you've got to like keep moving, and then like I don't know, these demons come in, and then you've still got to start like grappling hook and climbing, and climbing under pressure would be crazy. That would be like awesome. So
Yeah,
I hope it's something unique where like it shows off more of the game's cool mechanics, because it's very cool. Like that's the game that I've been watching and just sort of seeing my family play through it and seeing all the changes to it and little cutscenes and things like that. Like I hope they do something like that with it. When they call it a raid, like even not just Destiny, but like World of Warcraft and like literally any MMO game, like that's like that's like the big ticket thing. So I hope it's not like a strike. That'd make me sad.
Yeah, I'm excited for this,
But
'cause
like, how
it's
many people can you have? Like, even if it's 4 people,
it's
like
4,
that's.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder how the
it's
dynamic would be for like class abilities.
it's interesting, yeah, because they do have the classes, and they said that you have to work together with the different classes. So maybe it is as involved as you'd think of as a raid by working with your teammates and stuff. But
True.
I'm excited for it because you get to just fight like the whole time, basically, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome because in Ghost of Tsushima, when you're playing through the story, you're not just fighting the entire time. And I think we all know that when we got into those moments where we were just slaying everybody, it was so much fun. So
Mm.
especially that survival waves of enemies coming, that sounds fun.
Yeah, what was that
Yeah.
mission where you're in that fort and it's getting attacked?
Oh, yeah, they cover for. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If they could build off of like some of the mechanics in there, because that was a highlight of that game, I thought.
You know what the
Kinda
raid's
King
gonna
of the
be?
Hill.
You're gonna walk through the portal, right? And all you're gonna hear is just like door shut, and then just archers just kill you.
God, yeah.
Just like, no,
The
I hear
archers
them.
when you
I
go
hear them.
into the overwhelming forces forts.
Oh yeah, those
It's
ones.
gonna be
Guys
those
are
guys. You finally get to kill them.
true. True.
I'm
Yeah, that's
excited
gonna
though,
be
because
cool.
even like
That's
the
free.
armor looks different, right? It's not just like,
Mhm.
oh, the Ronin is just wearing like the Ronin armor, the assassin's just wearing the ghost armor. Like they have special armor for each of the classes. Which is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Like the samurai had like these crazy like deer horns, like like it looked kind of like the Sakai armor, but then to like some next level. So
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see. I feel like they probably won't, but it'll be interesting to see whether like, there's anything that you can kind of earn that can then be transferred back into the single player game. I feel
I
like probably
love
not because given everyone's typical narrative path, I would imagine they would have completed the game and thus they wouldn't have anything to do. But it would still be cool.
It does
Yeah.
give you a reason to go and collect everything. Like if you finish the game and there's still other stuff to collect, like it gives you a good reason to go and collect stuff if you're gonna go and do a raid with your friends, stuff like that.
Oh, completing everything and getting all the trophies. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yes.
see this coming for that game, but I am
No,
kind of hyped
I
for
really
it.
didn't.
No,
And it's
you
free.
know, yeah, exactly. I expected them to say, "Hey, we're going to drop something like New Game Plus," which they still haven't spoken about. But this is for this kind of game. I just never like, never saw it coming at all. So it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and it also kind of gives me hope that they'll do even more with the game. Because clearly they didn't just put this together with, oh, the game's successful, let's throw something together. Like they had this plan to create it before the game came out. So I'm hoping they have other things up their sleeves.
Mm.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Have you guys heard of
microtransactions either.
Remnant?
Good. Yeah. Remnant
You've
from
heard
the
of Remnant?
ashes, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a third-person shooter with guns, but you fight monsters. I haven't played it yet. It's on Epic Game Store for free for a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
days.
Oh, is it free right now?
It's free right now.
Definitely. Oh my goodness. If anyone out there has not played it, just get it because I really enjoyed that game. It's kind of like it's their take on a Souls-like experience but with guns. And I
Yeah.
think that like they generally did pretty freaking good. Like the guns feel good, the abilities feel good. It's a good game.
It doesn't screenshot super well, but it plays super
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it plays
Yeah.
super good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I only
a
just
fun
started playing
game.
it like this weekend. Like literally because it was on Epic, my friend was like, "We should download it," because I never played it because the team didn't play it on stream. It's 3-player co-op, so I kind of didn't fit the squad. There was no room. So I've now like assembled a merry band of warriors to go through. But I'm enjoying it. I'm only like sort of 3 or 4 bosses in, but yeah, it's been good. It's been good fun.
Oh, I'm glad. I haven't tried it yet. But it looks really fun and it's free right now. So like, go get it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think all their DLC is out now, right? Like they did 3 DLCs. I
Did they do
think
3?
they're all out now. Yeah.
Do you get
What
the
about Among
DLC
Us?
free too?
Probably not.
I'm not sure. No, I
Have
don't.
you
But
played
I
Among
don't
Us?
think
I don't know. Played what?
Have you played Among Us?
No, I haven't played that. I've watched a lot of people play it.
Okay,
seen it.
can we please have like a DCP and friends night because you need 10 people.
Yes.
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 It's
So
basically a
actually,
murder
Mav,
mystery game.
Oh my God, really?
It's So good. Yeah.
We were so we need to actually, so part of the GCX, one of the incentives was for DCP to do Jackbox games, like drunk Jackbox games
Ooh.
night. And I was thinking it could be like a whole gaming night, right? You could start with Among Us, you can have some Fall Guys in there, you could do Jackbox. And of course a lot of those games are better with more than, 4-5 people. So we need to grab some DCP friends to get some of that action in.
It's
Like this
very
plan.
good. You basically 8 people go into this map and you have like chores to do on this ship, and you have to go and sort of play these mini games. You can't really see your screen very well when you're doing a game or something, or you're like pumping or shooting the gun and the blasters on the ship or whatever. You're basically preparing the ship to take off. There are 2 people in the group that come out and you try to kill you. They're the killers. And so you'll never really know who is the killer because you don't really see. And so the rule is if you get killed, you have to mute your mic. And so then at the end of the round, if people find out and they set the alarm off, then everyone debates and they try to like pin people down and like call out like Briar, like, "Oh my God, you're the killer, aren't you?" And he's like, "No, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't do it. And this is why I
will
wasn't
just
doing."
always say
I was
Meanwhile,
watching
Was
the
is
whole
like
time.
literally eating my leg.
I saw you being shady over there in the corner. We played it last weekend with John Sandman and like Burn Notice and a bunch of people, and it was really fun. So I think having DCP do some sabotage on each other would be kind of cool to watch.
That sounds
It's
amazing.
Briar's perfect game. Yes.
Yeah.
He
Can't
either gets
wait.
to sneakily murder people and giggle about it, or he gets to try and blame other people for it.
Exactly.
I like both of those options.
Yeah, I thought that would be fun.
That would be super fun.
It looks a lot of fun. I haven't played it yet, but I've watched a few, like some of the guys on the team have been playing it, and like it's just fun. It's just so it's always the debates when someone gets accused and then you start seeing them trying to squirm out of it. It's too funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, the stories that happen, like I do not know. Like I was a killer once and I killed everyone, and they had no idea. They were like, "It can't be Mav." I'm like, "Yeah, why would it be me?" I'm like, what? Just slice and dice. It's really cute though. It's $4 game. Like I don't know. It's
Wow.
just
Yeah.
well worth the cost of it.
Well, that's half of the DCP budget right there.
Man.
Are we kind of like now approaching that like slow period, waiting for the big game releases? Is there anything else
No.
coming out between now and then?
So
Not for me.
tomorrow, Mortal Shell is coming out tomorrow.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So Mortal Shell is on the Epic Game Store. They had a demo out. I think you can still play the demo, actually. I think you can just download it and just play it. And this is from a really small studio, and they've basically taken the Souls-like experience and put their own twists on it. And I think they've done a really good job at making it feel unique and have its own identity within a genre that is very kind of like, when you follow that
pretty
genre,
crowded.
you can't deviate away from it that much without completely changing the game. So I think they've done a really good job at sticking with that genre and it feeling very familiar, but also feeling very unique. So that is coming out tomorrow. I am gonna play it. I'm excited. Don't know how long it is, but yeah, I'm excited to play the full game.
It's getting really positive buzz, like from early reviews.
Yeah.
Like people are digging on it.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
excited
true.
to see all the different classes because you only got to see 2 in the demo, and there's whole skill trees. You like essentially you find people's dead bodies, and then you inhabit them, and then you take on the skills of that
really?
person. So one of the classes was like poison based, so you can turn poison into healing and all bunch of stuff with poison. And he
Ooh.
was also really fast and he could dodge around super quickly. And then another one was all about getting health and being tanky. So yeah, full skill trees. You can switch between them whenever you want after you found them. So it's cool.
I'm looking at screenshots. I just went to the PC Gamer website where they did a review, and I'm looking at some of the screenshots. And I think if you had a deck of cards of Dark Souls screenshots and a deck of cards of Mortal Shell screenshots, and you shuffled them, never be able to fix that. Never be able
Visually,
to
yeah,
separate
it's like
those.
visually it is very Dark Souls. And it's also visually really good. I was super surprised when I was playing. I was like, this game visually looks really, really good. They also changed the blocking mechanic. So you don't just block, you have an ability called Harden, which is on a cooldown, not a long cooldown, but it is on a cooldown. And instead of just blocking attacks, you can harden your skin while you're shell, and it will block an incoming attack. And you can also use that as an offensive ability by empowering your attacks when you're going after them. So they've done interesting stuff. I dig it. I'm excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to check it out. I didn't get a chance to play the demo, but it's my problem with like these Souls games. Like I love the genre, but they always come at a time when other stuff is happening, and I never get to like fully because they just take a lot longer to complete because obviously that you're supposed to die a lot, and I'm just like I need a lot of time for this, and because there's a few things coming out. It's true that we are getting to that kind of slightly slower release period, but we've got Mortal Shell tomorrow. We have next week, later this week is Battletoads coming out as well.
Right.
And then we've also
what
next week got
is that coming out for, Eric? Do you know off the top of your head?
PC and Xbox.
PC and Xbox? I wonder, will it be on Game Pass?
I believe so, yeah, because I think it's first party, so
Probably.
it's rare, so it should be, yeah.
Oh, I love free
And then next week you've got Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles finally coming to Switch, so you can go back and replay that. And then the week after that, you got Avengers. So there's a few things going on.
I just started my Final Fantasy journey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
I wanted
Where'd
to
you
talk
start
about
it?
that a little bit.
So I am a huge MMOer. I played pretty much all of them. I just started in the RPGs. I've always played. I played Link to the Past recently, the newer one, and then just sort of been playing through a lot of things because I took a month off of streaming and just wanted to enjoy having a new kid. So I just had a baby. And so basically all the new games that came out months ago, I'm finally starting to be able to play them now. So it's been great. But Final Fantasy, I didn't understand it. It is literally the only series that I've never really looked at. I've heard a lot about. It's got a huge following. So we started with Final Fantasy VI. We were playing that on the couch. I know.
Okay.
I heard it's amazing, and so far it's pretty spectacular. It's basically.
I'm coming over. I want to play.
It's basically like it's magic. It's like the system versus magic. Like magic users are outlawed, and you have to kind of go through this huge journey. And we're still in the beginning of it, so we're just like learning the mechanics and like I'm just learning about that sort of play style. And then
I think that game is one of the prettiest Super Nintendo games that ever was
so
made.
good. Like the
It's
jingle
really good.
from the post fights, it's just so good. I get it. It's iconic. I started playing Final Fantasy Online. One of my girlfriends, Spofi, she's kind of like pretty big in Final Fantasy on Twitch and stuff. And she was like, you've got to come try it. Because I had mentioned to her, like, I'm playing Final Fantasy VI, and I didn't realize there's an MMO, and it's pretty big. And the servers are different. Like, it's very different than World of Warcraft, and very different than Elder Scrolls Online and any of these other MMOs. There's like 20 different servers in different worlds on different crystals. And you're just like, what?
That sounds
So,
kind of
Like, really, when you're trying to get someone to play with you, you're like, okay, make sure you're on this crystal and you're on this server and then you're in this region, otherwise we can't play together.
oh my
So
God, it's really that intense. I'm so spoiled because of the games that I play are just very like user friendly now. Like there's been updates, like even with Destiny, like it's like play with your friends anywhere, anytime, any place, and on the moon and the sun,
Interesting
whatever.
question. How do you feel about Final Fantasy 14? Because you mentioned obviously like you're big on MMOs and like you play like a lot of things like WoW and stuff. Like me as like someone that grew up playing like WoW and Guild Wars, I struggled to get into 14 because I hated the fact that every time I party, like I play an MMO to play with my friends, and then in Final Fantasy 14 they're like, now you must leave your party to do this solo quest, and that's all the damn time, and I hated that. I don't know how you got on with it, but
I'm still starting it, so I'm kind of I'm already frustrated because I can't play with everybody. So when I posted a couple days ago, I was like, hey, I created a character. You actually can't always make a character on a server. So some servers are capped for new character creations. Listen,
You have to
it
wait.
goes.
I had to wait.
I had to wait an hour.
Yeah.
But you're like
In
stuck in the
2020,
character.
I had to wait.
I had to wait to make a
I was
character.
trying to get people on our server, and I was like, okay, just create your character, save their look. The busy times are always in the evening. So if you can get there at like 2 p.m., you'll probably be okay.
Yeah, so I had to wait. And then when I posted where I was playing, pretty much no one who responded to the tweet is playing where I'm playing. So already, like, I'm
Can
already
you move
screwed.
a character between crystals?
I don't think you can.
So
I'm
once
not
it's set
like
up,
that.
it's just there forever.
I think once you're
I know
in,
you
you're
can
in.
move between certain things, but it's
You can switch servers, but yeah, I'm not sure.
you
Yeah.
have to pay for it as well.
Yep.
It's not free to switch. So
They're so smart. Good
There
lord.
goes the other half of DCP budget.
Yeah, but it's been really fun to sort of try a whole different. I mean, I've tried all of them. Like, there's not one MMO out there that I haven't tried.
and this is, I feel like this is a really unique one because, like Eric said, and you're either gonna love it or hate it. You can play Final Fantasy 14 as kind of like a solo player, and you can match make for dungeons, and you can play through all of the story by yourself, and then you can choose to group up and do raids and stuff if you want to do that. But it definitely offers a really good story within an MMO, which is pretty cool.
There's also there's also old the other Final Fantasy games. There's pieces and it's in like Easter eggs in the game.
Oh, really?
So that's gonna be fun to kind of learn about and then
Watts, when you were talking about this game a while back, you had said that they were making a huge change to the beginning of the game to make the onboarding process easier. Has that happened yet, or are we still waiting on that?
That was like the 11th, right?
Oh,
that came out. I think it was August 11th or something.
Well, that was 6 days ago.
Yeah, it was very. So now they have it to where it's free up to level 60 and up to Heaven's Sword, which is the first DLC that was given for this Final Fantasy 14. So you get a huge chunk of the game that you can play for complete free. Like that is it's a lot. And then they also changed it to try and get people to stick with the game longer because they hadn't updated the first part of the game, I think, ever, which was very dated. It was very different to how the rest of Final Fantasy 14 is. And a lot of people were like, oh, I'm tired. I'm going to take a break. And then they don't come back. So,
so they changed that beginning?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I totally forgot about that. It's totally free right now to play, which is why I sort of hopped in because I had been playing Warcraft vanilla, and I wanted to basically stab my eyes out. So I did anything to not play that game right now, even though the raids are out and stuff for Anchorage, and I really want to experience that. But yeah, there's just a lot of games right now.
Yeah,
I think I might jump in now that they fixed the beginning of it. I think I want to check it out. So should I just
you want to go on
in?
what crystal are you going to go on, and what server and what region?
But like
Amethyst. Where are you?
I can't remember. It's co-URL is the server that I'm on the crystal region.
I'm just gonna join the same crystal as my class ring.
I'm a dragon. I'm a dragon. I'm a dark dragon.
I don't be a dragon.
Very cute. They are very cute. My favorite.
There are different types of
and the bunny
factions.
girls.
They are. There's a cat girl.
There's a cat girl.
Does she have a Mega Man outfit?
You can be. I think Briar should be the little bunny guy because you can be like a little bunny.
That's good branding.
Just a little buddy.
So we're gonna have to message Briar. Make sure you press Crystal Goblet. At least, hey, Matt, we're both on Crystal. So we're
Does that
there.
matter? Does that matter? Can you still cross server? But
so you can like go and visit other people's servers to play with them, but it has to be on the same like data center.
Has to be on the same planet, but you can go to
Or-
any state.
Are they regional? Like, am I less likely to be on your server because I'm on East Coast?
No, I think if you were in like
You pick
Thailand,
basically.
Because I've got fiber internet now. I don't know if I
First, you
I
got ray
upgraded.
tracing, then you got the retro setup. Now you got fiber, and I don't know what's going on in your background. So,
oh, the best one was when he had a Han Solo game in the back, and anytime Han Solo face would come on the screen, it would focus on that, and it completely ignore Briar. It was great.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's great. I wonder what game that was. I love
It
Han
was,
Solo. My last name could be Solo. Like that's where we're at.
I'm pretty sure Han Solo and Indiana Jones were like a stand-in for a father for me.
Oh my god, he was amazing.
Which
I
probably
love
not the
him.
best role model,
No.
but I sure loved him. Should we wrap this one up? We got anything else we want to go over today?
cover
I
the news?
think the only thing was Nioh 2's DLC, which is very short. The story is very short, but it offers a lot of replayability for the game. So Nioh 2, they had a DLC. It's called Tengu's Disciple, and it's a couple missions, but it introduces a brand new weapon, which is a split staff. So you can use it as like a regular staff, and you can also throw it like a whip, sort of. It's very cool. Very fun. They also added some new moves to some of the weapons, and then they added some new moves that everyone can use, which is always a good time. And they also added new armor perks to old armor. So as you were playing through the game, you'd get some armor that didn't have set bonuses. So set bonus is very similar to, Division or any game that has set bonuses. And there were armor in the game, especially early on, that didn't have any set bonuses, and they added set bonuses to all of them. So it's like, hey, that like 20,000 hours that you made a build, there's like totally new things that you can make if you so want to. So it's the way that game does a lot of stuff is really clever. They get me excited to get the same stuff all the time. Like I'm basically getting the same thing, but they added a new type of perk or a new perk bonus, and I'm like, I gotta get the new stuff.
Just make sure you remind everyone that there's a learning curve for you too. If you're gonna go on the journey, just be prepared. Bring a med kit.
Mr. Mav started playing Nioh 2. And Mav was
We've
telling me
really been getting our games on, yeah.
and there is a learning curve because in Souls games, like they're hard, right? Because it's in this similar type of space that it takes up. They're hard, but you have like you can dodge, you can block, you can parry, and you can like swing your sword. But in Nioh, at the very beginning, there's different weapons that you have to choose from, which they're very vast. But then you have 3 stances to go between, which all do completely different things. There's a system called Key Pulse, which is where when you're attacking, you can get your stamina back if you if you time it right. So as you jump into Nioh 2 or Nioh in general, there's a lot to learn. So you're probably gonna suck for a while.
Watts, if
But
I wanted to play
eventually-
Nioh, should I play the first one or the second one?
So I think that the second one is more enjoyable.
It's prettier.
It's prettier. It's more
Not a white
enjoyable.
dude.
There's character creation, which there wasn't in the first one. Like the power fantasy is just well, not the power fantasy. The player fantasy is a little bit more interesting. There's only one part of the story towards the end that you'd probably want to know just generally what happened in the first, but you can just watch like cutscenes
Wikipedia
or
or
something.
something.
Yeah.
Because it's technically a prequel anyway, right? So in theory, you don't need to play the original.
It's both.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Spoilers.
I feel like that was a
Time
spoiler.
travel. Time travel.
Oh, look at it. Oh, no.
Oh,
Well, you
God.
are a half demon. I'm telling you, I think that right away just sold me on it because I was like, I can be a half demon anime girl.
It looks really cool. I mean, there's some horns that look not like horns. They look like
deer horns.
there's like one horn that looks like a male appendage, and
That's the one I want to wear.
and I voted that one out because that's just no. But go with God, or demons, but
It's real good. They do such good stuff for the game. There's a whole new difficulty. There's now 3 difficulties you can play on. And it's just when you get into the build making, your life kind of disappears.
Yeah.
So Tomo got into the build making because I think he finished the game a little bit before I did. And he joined a Discord server to trade items. He was watching YouTube videos. He was reading articles.
He was in deep, huh?
Going in.
Yeah. Once you go in and you're
He's
like, oh, what build can I make? And then you're gone. That's it. It's all over.
It's literally his fault that Mr. Mav is playing. So it's just...
it is his fault. And he has to stick with it too. Unlike Tefty, who quit at the final part of the game. I'm still mad about that.
Did he
Did he
get
finish it?
No, he didn't finish it. He was like maybe 3 missions from finishing the entire game.
Why did he quit? I forgot. I know he said.
He
but I
didn't make
forgot.
a build and he kept his like 1,700 skill points and didn't use them. So the game was unreasonably difficult. The game at that point expects you to have some type of build. Have
This
all
sounds
these
like
abilities. So it's ramped. It's it's level
relate.
for assuming that
Tefty
you have
here.
all of these, whereas Tefty didn't. So the game is really hard if you don't have it.
I can hear it now. Somebody in stream said, Tefty, you should use your skill points. And Tefty said, well, now I can't use any skill points.
Yep.
Like, you really should make a build. Like, this game's all about making builds. That's the whole point. He's like, well, never making a build. Sorry.
That's that.
Oh man.
It's over. Oh man, do you think Tefty's working on a theme song like right now?
He might be. He's probably watching this and he's writing the lyrics right now. And I just said all that. And now they're going to be some deflammatory
It's
lyrics. about me.
remixed.
I only can assume after we put his picture up as the intro. I expect
episode.
reprisal.
Oh, he's going to love it even more when we play the video.
Yeah,
True.
On Thursday.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He'll probably
That's
copyright
what he-
strike us. That's what I would do.
He does have an emo of his younger days face though, so
Yeah.
can't be that embarrassed.
Is he coming back for Thursday, or is he going to be out for the rest of this week and come back next
It's
week?
next week he's back,
Okay.
yeah. So we're
Good.
safe.
We can get that in for Thursday. Should we wrap this one up?
I think that's about it.
I think that's side quest complete.
Ding.
Adorable. My
bell.
God.
One of these days we'll get a bell. We don't actually have a bell.
I used to have a
Alas.
bell, but I lost it when I painted my office.
And also when you used what's his name in video, or is it called like RTX voice?
Oh yeah,
it used
the
to
RTX
silence your bell.
it mutes the bell.
Yeah. Yeah. You could have a whole gong and they'd be like, nope, can't hear it.
Now I want a gong. It
Yeah.
could go with my
it.
Ronin hat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Squires turn up and be like, okay.
I expect you
playing
to have one in the
Final Fantasy
background
too.
by next week.
Just for a little
gong.
background, before the show we were talking about Ronin hats, and I found one, and it was 47,000 yen, which we thought was $47, and I was on board. And then it was not $47, it was $470, and I said that's a bit much, but still tempting. You need a Ronin hat.
I mean, think of it this way: Ronin hat or Xbox Series X.
Hey.
Yeah.
Ronin hat.
Oh man.
I can imagine it now. Briar's wife is like, if you spend that much on that hat, you're wearing it every day.
It
all
comes in a
day.
box. It looks like every other box. She doesn't know what it's in it or how
You
much
just
it
open
costs.
the door. Briar didn't. What is going on in here?
That sounds like me. My house is just boxes right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I got a box of SCART cables that haven't been manufactured since 1982.
Nice.
All right. Where can
All right.
everybody find you? Mav, where can people find you?
Hi, I'm Mav. I'm everywhere on the MavShow. I've been taking a break, but we'll be back streaming this fall. So in like a week or two, back on Twitch. I've been posting a lot on YouTube. Got a podcast coming back, and yeah, that's pretty much what's been going on.
Perfect.
What's the name of the
Hey.
podcast?
Right now, it's the MavShow podcast, but we're in the process of legally renaming it, so that should be
Legally?
announced. very
Oh, is that
soon.
something that you
Yeah.
should do?
Are we legally named?
Legally renaming, making sure
We'll
I
talk
can
to our
Doesn't sound like
lawyers.
lawyer up. But yeah, the podcast is mainly some gaming news, but really I interview a lot of the internet creators, so Twitch streamers, YouTubers, and kind of talk more about the things you don't know about them rather than just what they do and what they play, just sort of like where they came from and what they kind of do on their off time and just I get really into it. I get really nosy. So
No, it's awesome because you get to. There's a
That's
lot
cool.
you don't often get to learn about all of that, so it's kind of a new thing to experience.
yeah, it's been really fun. It's been really cool.
Me, I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look for Miss 5000 Watts.
Sweet. And I'm Arix. You can find me over on YouTube, Arix Gaming, or Twitter at Arix. This week, I guess, what is it this week? I don't even know what's going on this week. Just random games this week.
Battletoads.
Battletoads. Yeah,
Battletoads.
I'll play that.
Fall Guys.
That too.
That too. I'm Briar Rabbit. You can find me searching Amazon for apparently what's called a coolie hat. I hope that's not racist. But I just found one for $16. It's made out of bamboo. It's 17 inches wide. Is that big enough for a Ronin hat?
Needs to be bigger.
Bigger?
Bigger.
All right.
bigger.
I need a ruler.
I'll keep looking.
Keep looking.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.